to current agents who want to take their business to the next level.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize before participating in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the K&TK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeit. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
Get rid of pesky critters once and for all with Bats to Rats. Their expert team is here to help you reclaim your home. No more sleepless nights caused by crawling critters or flapping wings. Bats to Rats ensures a safe environment for every family member. Check the website at batstorats.com for amazing offers. And if you mention this ad, you'll receive $10 off your initial inspection cost. Call Bats to Rats today at 402-781-8691. That's 402-781-8691. Bats to Rats.
Omaha Supernovas postgame show brought to you by Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Welcome back to Allstate Arena, Columbus, Ohio, Supernovas Radio Network, and a post-match show brought to you by the folks on Next Ag. And there are several talking points and things of note. One, congratulations to the Fury in front of 9,165 fans tonight in the season and their season home opener, to have this sort of response from the community and then to have this sort of response from the team itself. And they got answers from all over the roster. They got exceptional play from the Stars. They also got great play from the bench as well. There are some questions that we have to ask. Let's bring in Coach Renee Saunders. And, Coach, tell us what you saw first thing off the dome. What's your reaction?
Volleyball is a funny sport. If everything goes according to plan, it's pretty simple, but today was a perfect example that sometimes, things don't go according to plan. And I thought that we made good adjustments and made good changes and had a little bit of energy that came in, but we just couldn't string it together for a significant amount of time.
Coach, there's so many moving parts and there's so many pieces to this thing. But before the match, I brought up a name and I said, having watched the previous two matches, that Reagan Cooper just jumped off the video at me as a player who could provide some problems and some opportunities, some problems for Omaha and some opportunity for Columbus. What did you see from your vantage about Reagan Cooper and what it was? Again, this is a deep Columbus roster. They had a lot of contributors.
Well, she had 22 kills, so obviously she gave us a lot of issues. Next closest was Asia O'Neal with 15, and then after that it was Courtney Lush with 11. So really, Cooper carried them, but we just couldn't string anything together on our side. The difference between digs and assists and serve receptions, and we just couldn't get it going. It's a reminder that nothing is guaranteed in sports, that, this is why we play the game. Sometimes things don't go your way and sometimes you don't have your best match. And, the first 5 points of the game, I did not have a very good vibe on how it started. And if you start in a mode of hesitation and a mode of being on your heels, it's really hard to recover from that. And in the first set, I think that was very evident.
Coach, what was it about those first few plays? I mean, one, energy level, and of course it's a new building and the first night for their presentation here. But from you in those points, what did you see that made you scratch your head a little bit?
We seemed to step off. Like, I don't know if it was a step slow or a step off. And now, mind you, like, I muted my TV so I could listen to you guys because
I'm sorry.
Well, I want to make sure. Well, number one, I knew it was going to happen then before the play, so that was like, cheat code. But it was one of those things too, where knowing that I was going to be talking to you after the game, I wanted to make sure that I was seeing what you were seeing here, what you were seeing, and not what the other announcers are seeing. But I just felt like it was like if gears, they go together, right? But it felt like ours were just kind of grinding. They weren't in sync today. And I don't know if that could be fatigue. It could be mental fatigue. It could be, we talked early in the season about how hard this schedule is. This is not an easy schedule. Like, every team is good. Columbus preseason, number 3. They're one of the top 3 teams in the league. They weren't healthy at the beginning. When they played Orlando, they kind of smoked Orlando in the first set. So I was like, hey, that's what happened with Orlando too. And then Orlando figured it out. But they strung together a really good match today. I thought their setter ran a great offense, and we did not have an answer. I thought we did some good things, but we didn't do good things consistently.
Yeah, there seemed to be that off balance thing, right? That where you notice that some of the natural movement that we've seen about this team didn't happen. We also saw some situations where normally they would capitalize and they didn't. Opportunities at the net where they could make plays and didn't. What did Columbus do to make this thing look and feel different than it normally does?
They stayed the aggressors the entire time. I mean, there wasn't a lot of times that they looked discombobulated. And I think when they started off, I want to say beginning of the match, they were like throwing and tipping kind of a lot of balls that just got us reeling right away. And then they'd swing. And then we started second guessing. It was almost like we were trying to guess what was going to happen instead of just waiting for a second and making the play, or anticipating a little bit, but not guessing. Once you get on your heels and, you're starting to chase all over, and, you're getting random touches, but not great touches, and falling on each other. And we just seemed out of sync, but that's credit to Columbus. Columbus did a great job of getting us out of sync.
How much does this play into, or does it come into play that you change the successful roster because of the leg injury to Vuchkova? She ends up playing and contributing, but it changed the chemistry right away.
Yes and no. I mean, we played quite a few matches without her, so I don't know if that was it. It wasn't a one-person thing. It seemed like a team off thing. It wasn't like because somebody was in or somebody wasn't in. It was very much, you can come into games and do everything the right way and have a great warm-up, and the match starts and it's just off. Like, it happens. It's sport. There's no guarantees when you play the game. And when you're in a league like this, there's you gotta battle day in and day out, and that's hard on the body and it's hard on the mind. And I think Columbus, they had a great venue, right? They had a great crowd. Since I could only hear it on the background of your guys' stuff, but it sounds like it was a pretty fun environment. Columbus did what Columbus should have done, and I think it's been kind of rare. I don't know how many teams have won their home opener. They might be only the second one actually to win their home opener.
It's been a thing across the league. Listen, the playbook was given before the season started that there was not going to be a runaway and hide sort of situation. Every night was going to be a brawl and a battle. It would be a series of important 2-point sets. And that played out again tonight, because if Omaha can figure out how to capture set number 4 in a 2-set set, we're still playing, and you're still talking about it in the sprint. It's a sprint to 15. So how do you approach it now? Fully understanding that every night is a grind. It's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. Every night's a brawl.
I mean, you have to kind of listen to your players and listen to their bodies. I think, Anai didn't play against us for Orlando. And I think that was because she was probably hurting a little bit and knew long-term taking a break is a good thing. And the nice part about our depth, like seeing Mayfield step up the way she did and Gabby step up the way she did, was awesome to see. And it just shows us that we have people that we can plug and play in those spots. But I don't think any coach wants 3 starters to not be playing at any one time. At some point, Jess Shaban's going to need a break too. And at some point, you're going to probably need to give Brooke a break, even though she had 1 game off for an ankle. But I think, finding yeah, Kendall finally kind of got a break today because she only played in the first set and maybe half of the second. I can't remember when exactly they switched those 2 out. But I think it's okay to be able to rotate people through because, again, you don't need to be at your best right now. You just need to be in position to be in the top 4 going into the last, month of the season, end of April, beginning of May.
So after, and we'd like to talk about what we know and what we think we know. Now what we know is that there is depth on the roster. Please tell me what you saw in watching Gabby Thompson on 4 tonight.
Well, Gabby's just Gabby. I mean, Gabby's going to get you some great ups. She's going to serve, receive well. She's going to play hard. She's going to play with energy, and she's really good at like grabbing and touching and bringing her teammates together. Mayfield is exactly what I remember watching her in practice. She's much better on the outside than she is on the right side. I think the last time we played her on the right, and she's just a more natural outside hitter. And she showed exactly what she could do today. I can't believe that back row attack that she had 2 back row swings that were legit, like 2 of the hardest swings I've seen out of anybody on the Novas team this year. And I mean, Columbus dug them, but she was swinging for the fences. And I think that makes us better in practice, but it also makes her a viable option in matches.
What did you see? Because, sometimes fans will watch a game kind of evolve and get out of system themselves, right? That there's something going on that you're not seeing. You've watched every team now currently as they exist. Where would you rate the talent on the Columbus team so far? Like, where would you put it?
I mean, definitely top 4 talent, tough first match, definitely a better second match. And then I think they finally got it together today. I think their schedule bode them well going into this match because their last match was on the 16th. I gave them enough time for a rest and a preparation and being at home and film and all those things. I mean, if I'm watching from my couch and I have it up on my big screen, and we did not play a very good game of hit it where they're not. We hit what the scouting reports said we would hit, and we need to make sure that we are not hitting or mixing up more where we're hitting. And so they didn't have to move a lot on defense. They're like, oh, Brooke's hitting, we're going to go here. Oh, Betty's hitting, we're going to go here. Jess is hitting, we're going to go here. I think what gave them fits with like Mayfield is they didn't know where she hit. So they had no film on her. So they didn't know that her like deep 5 shot and her cut shot are fantastic shots for her. She could also hit line, but she was doing a good job of mixing some stuff up. But if we did a heat chart for the Supernovas, Columbus played on our hot spots, and that's why they dug so many balls tonight.
It's fascinating to watch, Coach, and I want to go to break so that we can get some action in, and need to get Rico in here. But I do want to ask you before we take it to the first break, that from what you just said and hitting to the game plan or to the tendency rather than in-game adjustments, and even in the call, I told Rico that Columbus was making better decisions on the floor than Omaha was. Is that what you saw in full? That quite frankly, the hitters were making better decisions, setters were making incredible decisions, or was it just that it was their night and they were playing above the heads of whoever they were going to be playing tonight?
I think a lot of our decisions were based on the situations we were being put in. So I felt like we were scrambling a lot more than they were. So we didn't have as many options as they did. I felt like they did a better job of kind of staying in system, and they had us reeling right out of serve receive for the most part, and then out of system they had some great hustle plays, so they got momentum there. I think we make in-game adjustments, but I think when times get tough, most people go with what they're most comfortable with, and what you're comfortable with is what probably your tendency. So I think this just shows one more thing that we need to work on. It's not a bad thing. If everything was perfect, we'd probably implode at the end of the year. So this is just one more step in the learning process and realizing, hey, maybe we need to work on this a little bit more. We could work on this a little bit more. I'm curious to see what Coach Bird says. I think she'll be frustrated, because you go into a match with a plan, and people that you were hoping would carry through with the plan, end up not being the ones carrying through with the plan. So it'll be interesting to see how she interprets that, what made her make the changes she did, and how we move forward.
Coach, we'll toward the break. When we come back, we'll have some of the Supernovas come by and tell us their thoughts and share this experience. Again, a great night. 9,100 folks plus showed up here at Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. I'm DP. She's Coach Renee Saunders. You're listening to the Supernovas Radio Network.
Gaina Trucking is hiring CDL Class A and B drivers. Gaina Trucking guarantees a 40-hour work week year-round, and their strong team culture makes it not a job, but a career. Gaina Trucking offers health, vision, and dental insurance, 401k with company match, an employee assistance program, and other bonus programs. Build a better career today with great team culture at Gaina Trucking. Learn more and apply today at GainaTrucking.com.
Road construction is complete, so there's nothing keeping you from getting into Mullen Motors. They can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2024 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2023 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Layton in Lincoln.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Action Plumbing, Heating, Air, and Electric brings exciting career opportunities for you or someone you know. They are now hiring plumbers, electricians, and HVAC techs and installers to continually build their professional team. They offer competitive pay and full benefits packages that include health, dental, vision, PTO, and 401k options. Action has created a positive team environment for over 50 years. Apply online at actionlincoln.com.
Old School with DP and J.
Do you think it's too early to talk about Patrick Mahomes as the greatest of all time? To be honest with you, I think he might be ahead of the pace. It was definitely on pace, maybe ahead of the pace. I think right now everything that he does is going to get overblown, and I think people so quickly forgot the 20-year run of the Patriots. Not 5-6 years, 20-year run of Tom Brady and the Patriots.
93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
I'm Chris Jackamick. I served in the United States Air Force, and I deployed 3 times. So in 2017, I was serving as an Air Force First Sergeant. Our motto in that role is "My job is people, everyone is my business." But unfortunately, in that year, I would lose my own brother, Lance Corporal Adam Jackamick, to suicide. The majority of veteran suicides are from guns. I store my weapons securely, not only for myself, but for my family. Store all your guns securely. Help stop suicide. My service never stops.
Brought to you by End Family Fire and the Ad Council.
Omaha Supernovas postgame show brought to you by Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Welcome back to the Next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show here on the Supernovas Radio Network. I am Rico, joined by the coach, Renee Saunders, back in Omaha, and Allison Mayfield, coming off the bench, giving Omaha a spark. However, the Supernovas do fall in 4 sets, 3-1 to the Columbus Fury in their home opener. Allison, how did it feel coming off the bench? First action of the season, getting in here, coming in the second set, I believe. And, I mean, you came in and provided a spark for the Supernovas.
Yeah, that's never really a situation that you want to come in on when your team's behind like that and things aren't really clicking. But that's kind of what my goal was to go out there. It looked like, we were a little bit hesitant. We were kind of looking at each other like, what do we need to do? So I just was trying to go in, maybe bring some energy. And I think, really proud of the team for fighting back. And we didn't get the second one, but kind of turned it around a little bit in the third. And then really just a couple key points there in the fourth that kept us from getting that set. But yeah, it was a crazy atmosphere here and a good match for the league, but that one hurts. We wanted to have that one.
You guys have had a lot of firsts this season. You guys played the first match of the Pro Volleyball Federation season. You were the first home game for Vegas. You're the first home game for Columbus. How does it feel to be, part of so much history with this league starting this year?
It's an honor and a privilege. I think we come in here, and again, this was a crazy atmosphere. They kind of rivaled our home crowd. They filled the whole lower bowl and had a really good production team, and it was fun to be a part of. Obviously we wish we could walk away with the win, but I think it's really cool to be a part of something like this. They have the whole Title IX video before kind of talking about women's sports and how they're coming to the forefront. And, this has been a long time coming. So I feel very privileged to be a part of all of this. And, again, we didn't get the result we wanted, but really, really good showing for Columbus out here.
Mayfield, 11 kills, representing St. Thomas Aquinas High School. They got to be so proud of you down there.
I don't know. I hope so. It's been a minute since, graduating from there, but yeah, just.
So how long of a break did you take between playing careers?
So I was playing in Peru in 2020, and the pandemic kind of ended my playing career, and I transitioned into coaching. So I've been coaching for the last 3.5, 4 years. And then kind of this started up and was an opportunity, and I'm so grateful for it. I thought I was done playing and then come back and to be part of something like this, like it's every day I'm just like, what am I doing? So, 3.5, I actually think it was 4 years off from playing, which is some of these rookies' whole entire college career. But, I was around the sport coaching and it's just fun to be back. It's different coaching versus playing and really loving being able to play again.
Do you feel wiser?
I do. I joke about it, and maybe not wiser, but I think just as a coach, and you can probably attest to this, the game slows down. You see things different. You can see the blockers, you can see the defense, you can see, I had a lot of tips tonight, but it's like you can see where they're moving, and it's something that comes with experience, and you see a lot of experienced players in this league, and I think that's really exciting because we've got a lot of youth and sheer talent, but then you've got this experience that can teach the youth and really teach them what they've learned over the years, and it's really exciting for the sport.
You mentioned seeing more, seeing the block, seeing everything, seeing a lot there on the court. What was Columbus doing specifically up at the net on the block that was really frustrating you guys, really getting to you guys?
I think they got a lot of good block touches. They blocked us, I don't know how many times, but
yeah, they had 12 blocks and 12 positive touches. Yep.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm not going to say we haven't seen it, but it hasn't really impacted us that much. I think we've kind of been the aggressors in the block in most of our matches. So just kind of bouncing back from that. And if you get a positive block touch, just being able to find a different way to score. And I think they were all over the net, credit to their blockers, getting hands in the faces. And maybe we took some risks that we should have been a little bit smarter on, but they were getting over and on us. So you got to give them credit for that.
Mayfield, one of the things that I recognize right away with you in practices is you are 100% fearless. So and then you come in the match and you get 11 kills, you hit 270, you terminate at 42%. What was your mindset going in? Granted, yes, not the situation you want to go in, right?
Right.
But what a cool opportunity to try to turn the match around. And for someone like you that I feel plays without fear, you took big swings at big moments. How do you help those people at home? How do you key into that type of mindset as a player?
I think it's, again, it comes with the experience, because there's definitely been times where you let the moment get to you and maybe start thinking and overanalyzing and all this stuff. And I just really trying the positive self-talk of why not? You have a negative thought or something and it's okay, thank you for that thought, but no, let's move on. And why not? I've been doing this long enough. I've been training. I've been learned from some of the greatest coaches in the world. why not go after it? Like, if I miss, I miss. I missed one way long tonight, like, but, going for high hands. But like, if you miss, you miss. It's 1 point. Like, why not? Why not take that rip? And of course, there's situations where you got to be smart. Like if it's 24, 23, maybe I'm not taking that swing. But I think it's just in the right situation. If you feel good about it, you get a good approach, you put yourself in a good situation. Why not? Why not take that rip?
You mentioned your coaches. Can I throw in one more question? Then I'll give it you, Rico.
No, go right ahead.
You mentioned all your coaches. One of my favorite things to ask is like, I mean, you've had a lot of great coaches. Who's been one of the most impactful? You have to pick one, and why?
That's a tough question. I've had a lot. I think I will say when I was playing in Finland, I had an Italian coach, and he was really good about trusting me. And, like I said, when you're younger, maybe you have some doubt and some moments where you're like, okay, what if this doesn't go well? But high ball out of system, he'd be like, do it, like, go for it. Just really, really good at instilling trust, and like how much he trusted me, how much he trusted us as a team. And I think that goes a long way. Like, yes, I've had great technical coaches and they've taught me how to pass, they've taught me how to swing, all this stuff. But I think the greatest coaches can really just instill confidence and trust in their players.
Coming off of a long road trip, back onto a long road trip. We'll be flying out to Orlando tomorrow, kind of a long break until the match on Sunday. What is something that you guys are, not to give any trade secrets or anything, what's something that you guys are going to work on that you're taking away from this one before you face the Valkyrie down in Orlando?
I'm sure first contact is going to be one of those. I think our passing, I don't think our passing was bad tonight, but I think we could have served a lot more aggressive. There's way too many first ball kills that they had, balls that we weren't even touching. And then if we were a little bit more aggressive in our serve, I think those were the longer rallies. That's when we could really grind or dig in and grind the point out. But I think just overall, we've got to be a little bit more aggressive in serve, put more pressure on them from the beginning so that they can't get in their rhythm and get that confidence like they did tonight.
Well, Allison, we're going to go from cold Columbus to sunny Florida here in a couple of hours. Unfortunately, the result didn't come out the way for the Omaha Supernovas in this one, but it's a long season. Got another match coming up next. Thank you so much for joining us here on the Supernovas Radio Network. With that, we're going to go to a break. We've got Coach Bird coming up next here on the Supernovas Radio Network.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered numerous brokerages before deciding on MP Dodge. I chose the company that gives me the most support in my new career, plus guidance and encouragement along the way. MP Dodge has a unique mentoring program for new agents. It's helped jumpstart my career and has a supportive management team and administrative staff. So if you're contemplating a career in real estate, look no further than MP Dodge. It will be the best decision you make.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
Road construction is complete, so there's nothing keeping you from getting into Mullen Motors. They can get you into a new vehicle right now and get your 2024 started off the right way. They cleared off their 2023 inventory and have tons of new vehicles to choose from to make sure you get to where you need to be this year. Out with the old and in with the new. Stop by Mullen Motors today, just north of 48th and Layton in Lincoln.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Where will your path take you, traveler? To seek fortune in a new career? Or on a journey to distant lands for a well-deserved vacation? Wherever you go, one distraction could spell disaster. You can change your fate, adventurer. Don't drive distracted. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Golfing in 72 degrees and perfect conditions in Nebraska doesn't seem possible in the winter, but it is. Double Eagle Golf is your escape from the bone-chilling cold outside and a reason to keep your clubs out year-round. Book a bay with some friends for a weekend or come by for golf and happy hour on a weekday. Spring leagues begin in February. Get signed up today. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex at West O Street. Online at doubleeagle.golf.
Omaha Supernovas postgame show brought to you by Next Ag Appraisal and Realty.
Welcome back. Next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show here in Columbus, Ohio. The Omaha Supernovas fall to the Columbus Fury 3-1. We are joined by the head coach, Laura Bird Kuhn. Coach, tough one today.
Yeah, that was. But I'm proud of a lot of things. For the league, this atmosphere, being a part of a home opener was so cool again. I'm proud for the Fury. I mean, they showed up, they showed up and competed. They played very well. I'm proud of our team. We went to a lot of people off the bench and they stepped up and we battled, but we had to be clean. I mean, it's our first contact. Renee, we talk about it all the time. First contact is usually the key for every match, and we needed to serve tougher to get their middles out of it. But, I mean, then you serve tough and Reagan Cooper just hits over you, and just not much you can do about it.
Me and DP were made the observation as the game was going along. And, we made our observation. I want to know about this was, to us, one of the more athletic teams that you guys have faced. Maybe not one of the biggest teams, but one of the more athletic teams. They have a lot of athletes that could jump out of the gym.
Yeah. And they were scrappy. I mean, the first set, they were grinding, they were digging everything. And, yeah, I mean, they played well. I mean, it was their home opener, and it was a great atmosphere. I mean, I'll say it again, for this sport and these environments on the road, it's awesome. I mean, it's fun for our athletes. It's fun for everyone involved playing in this atmosphere. So that's awesome. But at the end of the day, like, we went to people and I'm proud of them, but now it's a consistency and it's a playing clean and finishing.
Oh, Coach, you're muted.
I got you.
There we go.
My dogs were barking. I didn't want to be that person. I don't know what they were barking at.
Your dogs as in your feet? Like
no, as in the four-legged one. One is staring at me right now. Like, who are you talking to? God, life with dogs. You had to make some pretty tough decisions to, like, early. Like, I'm watching from home, and I told these guys, I felt like in the 5 points, I immediately felt like our vibe was off. It was like something wasn't connecting. What was your final straw when you decided to, like, make pretty drastic lineup changes?
As a staff, we were talking in the first set. I mean, we could feel it too, as a team, as a staff. So we had already started talking about what changes you make first, where you go. And then we just knew going into the second set, we had to do it fast. Like, we had a whole set. Obviously, we needed to grab the momentum back, so we couldn't wait too long. And so we'd already talked about that at the break, and we knew what we needed to do, kind of, or what we decided we were going to do to make some changes early.
You put Mayfield in. Holy buckets. She showed what she was made of. I mean, you had told me before that you're a big fan of what she does. And I know off the bench before you had used Briggs. What made you decide to go with Mayfield in this match?
We needed kills, and Briggs did great for us. I mean, we always went to her more because of ball control. But tonight, I just think the vibe we were in, and we just needed someone to go in and just start lighting people up, kind of. And I know towards the end, maybe we weren't doing that as much. But, yeah, I mean, Maeve was the one we went to, and as a staff, we talked about it, and we went. I mean, that's just a constant dialogue of because we could use Briggs in more ways. We could use her to serve for people on that. So we're like, go with Maeve. Everyone was struggling. So at that point, it's like we were putting everyone in based on, all right, what do you do first? What do you do second? And so we kind of did that through the first set we were talking, and then here's the order we're going to do it. I mean, and that's just strategy. And you talk about it before a match, honestly, because you talk about matchups. What are we going to do first? What are we going to do second? But in a match like that first set, it's like, okay, do you scrap it? Let them try to settle in? Yep. All right, then we give them a couple points, but then you got to go. Then you got to start making some adjustments because they had so much momentum, and obviously it's their home opener, so we had to do something. So
the crowd was bringing the juice
Oh,
for
yeah.
him. And
Oh, yeah.
and Allison, she mentioned, usually you guys are the aggressors at the net,
Mm-hmm.
but in this one, Columbus comes out with how many blocks was it again, Coach?
They had 12 blocks. They doubled up our blocks. We had 6. They had 12. They had 12 positive touches. We had 13 positive touches.
You talked about watching or going over the film of the first 2 matches. Is that something that you saw from Columbus or you could see Columbus doing coming into this one?
Yeah, they had glimpses and moments, so we knew their personnel, but they just haven't played a lot, so they haven't really had that time for like what I had talked about with our team, the competitive chemistry and to get it going. And so we knew. I mean, we talked about it. This is their home opener. They haven't played in a week or 2 or whatever it was. Like they've been training. They're going to be hungry. Like there is a lot of things working. So it's like managing the game and being able to adapt and adjust, which we always talk about. So yeah, it was kind of like the perfect storm for this.
We've got kind of a little break now before you play Orlando for the second time in 7 days. I'm guessing Anaya will be back on the floor. Do we scrap things? Do we go back to the drawing board? Like, what is the next step for the Supernovas after this?
I think now we say we're competitive and we have a lot of depth, and we do. So yeah, now it's like we get back in the gym. When we get down to Orlando, we have some time off, get some recovery, but then it's like, all right, compete. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out matchups. We'll figure out a lineup, who we're going to go with, and we'll roll with it. I mean, I think everyone knows now we have depth. We have people ready to go, and we're going to do whatever it takes to win 17 strong, just like they always say.
That's never the result that you want. You never want something like this to happen, especially that first set, that 25-12. But if there's anything positive to take away from it, it's that you were able to go to your bench and you were able to see the depth live in person on the court, not in practice against an opposing team.
Yep. And that's good. I mean, it's huge for us. It's huge for our team. And yep, we need to be consistent. But at the end of the day, now we know even more so what we have. And it's a tough position for coaches to be in, but you also want it. Like they want to be competing. We want to be competing. So it's, that's where we want to be as a staff and as a team. So we got to get prepared and put our best lineup out there to beat Orlando because they're going to have their best lineup out there.
All right. Thank you so much, Coach. We have got to get out of here. That's going to do it for the next Ag Appraisal and Realty postgame show here on the Supernovas Radio Network. We will talk to you guys again on Sunday as the Supernovas take on the Orlando Valkyries.
Hi, my name is Molly Party. I'm a realtor with MP Dodge Real Estate. I'm a newly licensed agent and considered